I bought an entire booster box of Magic the Gathering for $12. No, this wasn't a scam. I actually was on Amazon.com from a link that a viewer had sent me in my chat to buy a booster box for $12. But this is not really a normal booster box, and I'm not actually sure how much it's worth. We're going to have to open it in this video to figure out if we get really any return on our purchase, because this is a Jumpstart booster box. And no, not like Jumpstart, the set Jumpstart, or Jumpstart 2022. Those are actually pretty fun sets that were designed for the Jumpstart mechanic. This is not. And I'm going to have to talk a little bit about what the history of Jumpstart boosters is and why they don't exist anymore. Consider it a good thing. So there's 4 main types of boosters that were released across 2022 and 2023, and even earlier than that. Some of you are familiar with regular old draft boosters. So here is just an example, a March of the Machine draft booster box. These are boosters that are designed to be drafted. That means that you can play sealed or draft with them. You open them up, you have a number of rares, uncommons, and commons, and you can build decks with them. Awesome. You can also just collect the cards. Better for collecting cards is the set boosters. These are a little bit more expensive than draft boosters, and they have usually more rares and fewer commons, which is great if you're just looking to open up better cards. So you have, these draft boosters and set boosters. Something that's actually worth mentioning is neither of these products will exist next year. With, I believe, Murder at Karlov Manor, they're phasing out both of these, combining them into one product, which is going to cost the same as a set booster, but be draftable. So, great. These don't even exist. Then there's collector's boosters. Collector's boosters are super expensive, but have lots of shiny little foils in them, and usually a whole bunch of rares and extra supplemental cards, like cards from the commander decks associated with whatever the product is. And then there's Jumpstart. Jumpstart's actually its own format where you take 2 boosters, mash them together, and you can build a deck. They have all the lands they need in them, and a booster box only comes with 18 boosters in it. That's a lot fewer than the set or draft boosters. I believe collector's booster boxes come with 12. I don't have one in front of me, so I can't double check that. But this set booster box here, let me see if it says the number of packs in here. Oh, look at that. Guaranteed foil and art card. I have so many art cards in my box. Here we go. This display box contains 30 set boosters and 1 box topper. Awesome. And then you have draft boosters, because typically you draft with a group of 8 people or multiples of 8. There's probably going to be a multiple of 8 in here. Actually, there's 36 draft boosters. So you can use that for a couple different groups of drafting. You can use them for prizes. Awesome. Draft boosters. Then you have 18 in here. And I mentioned before that it takes 2 packs. You mash them together, and that is a deck. Each one has 20 cards in it. So you're essentially building a limited deck just by opening 2 packs. Jumpstart, as the set mechanic, is really weird, because the way that they sell these is it has 2 rares per pack. Now, one of those rares is a Jumpstart exclusive rare, and there's usually only like 1 of them per color, sometimes 2. There's not a lot going on there. So you have a Jumpstart rare. None of them are that good. None of them are that interesting, but you can only get them from Jumpstart boosters. The other rare in that booster is going to be a rare of the same color of the Jumpstart rare you got. So these are technically standard legal products if they were sold in, for example, Dominaria United. That's a set that was released into standard. If you had, for example, the Lord of the Rings Jumpstart, that's only legal in places where Lord of the Rings is legal, like Modern. Oh boy, Bowmasters. So if you open up one of these boosters, you have a chance of getting whatever the mediocre rare is from Jumpstart, and then a monocolored rare from the set itself. So I looked at what are the monocolored rares in this set that are actually worth opening? And are any of them worth more than $12? Well, yes. There's one that is worth way more than I paid for this entire booster box, and that's Shuldred. You know, Shuldred the Apocalypse. Hurts your opponent when they draw cards, gains you life when you draw cards. That's a card I would love to open, and since it's mono black, I do have a chance of opening it in this. Same with Liliana. Liliana of the Veil, solid card. And a lot of the valuable rares from this happen to be lands, which I don't actually think I have a chance of opening in these boosters. So I'm going to be opening this up, but I want to look a little bit more at the price history. How did I get this for $12? That's ridiculous. Even if this is just like a fun thing that you're smashing together and having a good time with your friends for a little bit, how did I get it for only $12? So I actually brought up the price history on Amazon. So because these jumpstart boosters tend to be pretty lackluster, they sell for a lot less than a regular set booster box or draft booster box from the set. And these ones had been retailing for originally $100 when the set came out, then $70, then $50, then $40, and then for a single day, when one of my chatters messaged me out of the blue, "Hey, is this legit? Why is it selling for so little?" I was like, wow, that doesn't seem great. It was $12. And I said, even if it doesn't get delivered, great. Amazon will refund me, and I am out a grand total of $12 temporarily for the potential of getting an entire booster box. But these products, they seem to have stabilized in the $50 to $60 range for most of the different jumpstart boosters, excluding the actual jumpstart sets, and also excluding the Lord of the Rings set. I looked into this a little bit deeper. I believe that the Lord of the Rings product, the reason why this is a bit more sought after is not because you have a chance of getting the ring, it's because you have a chance of getting Bowmasters. Orcish Bowmasters is a really good card. It's from the Lord of the Rings set, and because it's a mono-colored card, it can be one of your rares in your boosters. That's great. Good for the people getting this. By the way, I think that these were some of the last jumpstart boosters produced, since they don't exist for future sets because they didn't sell well, they were confusing to new players, they don't have that good cards in them, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, the price went down. And if you look at TCG players' pricing, you can kind of see that this has never been retailing for very much. As people saw, this is not a valuable product. Stores didn't really purchase that many of them, and the stores that did purchase them were like, I just have to liquidate this product. So they're trying to get however much money they feel they can from them, with the understanding that they're never going to get the amount that they spent to purchase them wholesale, which really stinks. Like Wizards of the Coast, when you sell an expensive product to a game store with the promise of it being something people will want that has perceived value, it should have perceived value. It shouldn't be whatever this is. By the way, I would say that Jumpstart is probably my number 2 most disappointing products. Number 1 being March of the Machine, The Aftermath. I once opened an entire collector's booster box, and it was like, wow, I've never felt less thrill opening collector's boosters than this box, because it has just the same rares and uncommons over and over and over and over, and only 2 of them are very good. And these are even worse, but at least it's not collector's boosters pricing. I got it for $12. So let's take a look at what's inside our box. Did I get my $12 worth? What do we get? Let's see. I don't expect this unboxing will actually take that long, because not only are there very few boosters in here, there's also not many cards that we really need to look at if we're just trying to figure out what the value is of the cards that we're opening. Again, I don't think that there's that many high value cards that we can open in this, so we can skip over most of the bulk of the packs. Mix and match to defend Dominaria. Great, welcome to Jumpstart. I'm going to not do that, because we're not actually playing Jumpstart, we're just going to be cracking open packs to get my $12 worth. Now, if I wanted to just turn this into a party game, maybe teach a friend how to play Magic with this product, this would be a fun thing to do. I would say that Jumpstart boosters tend to be a decent introductory way to play Magic, since you don't have to think at all about deck building. All right, so our first theme here is Mystic Mischief, which means it's mono blue. Dominaria United, by the way, is a very, very fun format because it has all these kicker cards that are multicolored and a bunch of other silly stuff. Ooh, good! There's also one of these pretty islands in here. And 2 foil islands, too? Strange. Foil lands, if they're not the alternate art treatments, are, I don't believe, very valuable right now, but this alternate art, I'm sure there are some folks who like to flesh out their decks with them. And on top of that, I think they're beautiful. I think Magali is one of the best Magic artists. She did all of these lands, and they are gorgeous and incredible. I believe you can actually buy prints of them, including canvas prints, metallic prints, and acrylic prints from her website. I looked at getting them for myself, and I didn't get them because, I'd rather spend $12 on this than purchase beautiful works of art. So let's take a look at our first two rares. You have a Sphinx of Clear Skies and a Cosmic Epiphany. This is the Jumpstart rare. This is the normal set rare, and neither of them are cards that I'm particularly looking for. The Curl, by the way, I want you to just like take a look at that. These have been in the box. They are just a bit of prongle, just a bit pringled like this though. And I mentioned before that these come with all the lands that you need to play with them already in packs. So they are designed to shuffle up and play. Hey, that's the name of a series I've been on. This is Coalition Core, so it's going to have white cards in it. And this time I'll actually remember. So we have a Valiant Veteran. That is great for soldiers. Not a very high value card, but still cool. And Sarah Redeemer, which could be cute for EDH. I wonder if each of these has exactly one of these alternate art lands. It looks like it in 2 foil lands. That's kind of cute. So Sarah Redeemer, Valiant Veteran. If I was playing a standard deck, this is a card I actually might want for that deck if I was playing mono white or blue white soldiers, which is not a terrible standard deck. There are certainly stronger decks out there, but it's had a decent showing in competitive events recently. Not as strong as like the Ramp and Value Town kind of decks. All right, Beast Territory. Green. I believe that the Ape that's in this set is actually a slightly sought after card. So let's see if we get that. No, we got to Fire to Vigor. That is actually another one of the more sought after cards from this. This is a great card for Commander especially. I played a ton in Historic Brawl because it lets you pay life instead of mana for your green permanents and then buffs up everything you've got. So because this is a mono green pack, but it has cards that care about land types. This actually has a bunch of the multicolored dual lands in it. Not the good dual lands, mind you, just dual lands. And look, one of those for us. So Briar Hydra, that was the Jumpstart rare. But the Fire of Vigor, it's not a terrible card. I'm actually going to quickly look up if it has a sale price that's above like $2. Defiler of Vigor. Defiler of Vigor, looking at the current aggregate listing, it is at about $2. So I remember I wrote down a bunch of the cards that are slightly more sought after from this set, and really it's just Sheoldred. It's just Sheoldred. Okay, ready to attack? It's red. Red cards. I think Shivan Dragon is in this set. That's not a bad card at all. Oh, look, we got Squee, Dubious Monarch. And a Ragefire Hellkite, a pretty mountain, some shiny mountains. Great. Squee is the actual rare from the set, and the Hellkite was the Jumpstart rare. I don't even think that many different themes, by the way. You can see the titles of them on each of these packs as we open them. Black. So black is kind of the color that we really want to see, because it's where Liliana and Sheoldred are. So let's see. Can a girl get a Sheoldred? Can I find? No, but this did answer another question I had, which is, can there be colorless cards in here? Weatherlight Completed is a colorless mythic from the set, not one that's particularly like worth a lot of money, but you know, it's colorless. So that actually tells me you can also get a colorless one, and I imagine that means you still can't get Timeless Lotus, because that's a 5-color, though colorless card, depending on how you're looking at it. Are you looking at identity? Or just the colors? Like, I'm not going to find Joda the Unifier in any of these packs. Just keep cracking these bad boys open. We're a third of the way through. Arcane Mischief. That's different from Mystic Mischief, I guess. I'm not sure what the difference is. They're both blue. I guess it's probably a slightly different blue rare that's in there. Oh, look! We got the Cosmic Epiphany. It's the same one, but we got Hadi Jin. It's worth like $1, but it is a cool card that's not bad if you're looking for like a budget blue deck. The keyword there being budget. Gosh, these are pretty, though. Really do like those lands. Arcane Mischief, looking a lot like Mystic Mischief. So far, though, haven't hit anything too wild and crazy. Another Coalition Legion this time. The other one was Coalition Core. Also looks like it's going to have some soldiers in it. Defiler of Faith. Same as that green card. Same series. And that same Sarah Redeemer. Defiler of Faith is fine. It spits out tokens. But not something I really want. Come on, let's open up those packs. I'm sure you all love that ASMR of me ripping that open. Monster territory, different than beast territory. I'm guessing the territory refers to, yep, it's got multicolored lands in it. That tells me it's probably got domain-related cards like Sunbathing Rootwalla. Cute. Oh, Shoka Brawler also cares. And what's our green boy? This time it's Llanowar Loam Speaker. This is just a mana dork. Taps for mana of any color, can animate a land. Another Briar Hydra. Loam Speaker's fine. It's a 2-mana mana dork. If you want one of those, it is one of those. I'd say that it's the kind of card that when you're playing Singleton, you can fit in a whole lot of them. And right now, there's a ramp archetype in Standard, but it does not use that card. It uses Topiary Stompers and Invasions of Zendikar. So now we're ready to charge, which is different from ready to attack. And our rares are Chaotic Transformation and that same Ragefire Hellkite. That's the Jumpstart rare, actual set rare. This is a Chaos card. If you like to cause problems, well, that's the card for you. For everybody else, probably not. It's got the baby dragon. It's got a dragon whelp on the cover. Everybody loves baby dragons. Totally ruthless. Mono black again. Could we get a Sheoldred? I would like to. I don't have a Sheoldred yet, and I can put it into pretty much every single black deck I own. Cut down's also not bad. I got Defiler of Flesh. That's the third Defiler we've seen. We've seen the red, the white, now the black one. I think the black one's probably the most underwhelming of them. Or lands. Another whiff, though, on a black pack. Trying to find those Sheoldreds and Lilianas. A bit over halfway through the booster box so far. Only took me a few minutes to get there. Mystic Mischief. That's the same thing that we opened in the first pack. And I just know where we're looking. Yeah, it's Cosmic Epiphany and Academy Lore Master. This is nothing. Pretty land, though. Yeah, there's no highly sought-after uncommons that I can think of from this set. I know that Leyline Binding, which is in white, is something that is probably worth looking for, but we haven't seen one yet. So Coalition Core again. Hey, I mean, Leyline Binding is a white rare, but it's not in this pack. We have the Soldier that can enlist and become indestructible. And again, for the third time, Sarah Redeemer. One of the most underwhelming things about these packs is the frequency which you will get the same rare, because there's only so many Jumpstart rares. There's just kind of the same one in each color over and over and over. Another Totally Merciless. The same one as our first black pack we opened here, but I'm just gonna skip right in. We got Braids and Tyrannical Pit Lord. So Braids is a pretty cool card, actually. She triggers at end step. I'm going to see if this one has a value of over $2, because I know it's a slightly sought-after card, but nothing too high. Okay, so this is like a $3 card looking at the printing from Dominaria United. Just the base printing here, which is what this is. No special treatments, no alternate arts, nothing like that. So far, I would say that we are not at $12 worth of value, because when you're like reselling cards, it takes a lot of effort to actually resell a card. So you should always look at like buy list values. They're never going to be very high. We got a Voldalen Mineslinger. That's actually funny. We got the Mineslinger because this has two other colors on it. It has Kicker in both red and green, neither of which can you get from this pack. We've got 4 packs left. All right, show me my $12 worth of value. Show me one good rare. Up to Sarah Paragon. No, as far as cards go, this is a pretty cool one. It lets you bring something back from your graveyard. Each turn you have to pay its cost. It's a lot like Lurrus, But if the thing comes back, the next time it would leave the battlefield, going to the graveyard, well, it gets exiled. But you can end up gaining life. I think Sarah Paragon is a worthwhile card to have, and I'm checking the price now. It looks like this is also about a $3 rare, just like Braids. Or I should say a mythic rare. Good card to have for Singleton Gaming. Currently doesn't have a home in any meta decks, but it is a good card. Monster Territory, just like that. So we know we're going to be getting that same Briar Hydra and Herd Migration. Herd Migration is being played in a meta deck. There's a domain deck that is in standard that looks to use this to find lands, stay alive, and then cast it. It being a meta card means that it might see a little bit more play and thus have a bit more value. That's apparently not correct. I double-checked. It's worth about 50 cents. Oh well. That's fine. That's one of those cards that's like, just because it sees play, it only sees play in one place, and, well, you don't use it anywhere else, so it's not very valuable. Ready to charge! Let's see what we got here. We've got Elder Dragon War, and then that Ragefire Hellkite. Elder Dragon War is cute. It's not as good as Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but it is legal. One of those sagas with read ahead. Not the worst. Not very good, though. And now, finally, the last pack. Will we crack it open? Are we going to get payoff for essentially our discount lottery ticket? Totally ruthless. It could be. It's in black. We have all of our nice little uncommons and commons. And then we have the Raven Man, the tormentor of Liliana, but no Liliana herself. So as you can see here, this product, even at the steep discount of $12, is totally a dud. It's amazing that I can have something like, oh yeah, I bought an entire booster box for $12, and it still wasn't worth it. The price, by the way, is back up to around $44 last I checked. You can actually see it in the footage that I took earlier in this video. It's just so funny to me that you can have a product that, like, yes, I'm going to have fun with these. You notice that I keep them in the piles because these are all going to go into little bundles, and they're going to be like a baby cube. I'm going to, like, take out some of the duplicates. I'm going to turn them together, but I'll use this as a teaching product. These are a lot like the starter decks that you use the first time you're learning Magic to be like, all right, well, I've got these cards in these colors. How do I learn how to play with them? Thank you so much for watching this, by the way. I know that this is a bit of an experimental video here, but hopefully you learned something about how terrible Jumpstart boosters are and why they're being discontinued. Yeah, because everybody gets their kicks by opening up packs and seeing cards that they can't play anywhere else.